Greg Olsen, Panthers tight end. My Panthers. Yep, told everybody at the beginning of the year, jump on the bandwagon, and nobody wanted to join me, Greg. So I got first-class window seat bandwagon Panthers. You remember that, don't you?
I like it, Dan. I'll take you.
Yeah.
We'll take you.
But do you care if the national media or the rest of the country hasn't bought in?
To be honest, we're not overly concerned with it. The way the NFL works, it's such a black and white, situation. You win, you lose, and the more you win, the attention will come, the recognition will come. But at the end of the day, your record indicates what you are, where you stand, and really takes care of everything else. It's not the BCS. We don't need style points. We don't need votes. We have our destiny in our hands, and that's why we like it.
When's the last time you were surprised at an outcome of a game? I mean, you beat Green Bay. I don't know if that surprised you at all, but is there ever a time when you go in the locker room and you go, wow, I'm surprised?
I don't think individually any particular game we're surprised we win. I think we work each week. We prepare. We do everything expecting to win. I don't think anybody in this league, it's hard enough to get through week after week after week. If you're feeling good and you're winning. But if you start doubting yourself, you start doubting your team's ability to go out and have success, it can make for a pretty daunting task. So I think our mentality has always been one of optimism. I think we've always considered ourselves, we expect to win. We always consider ourselves a team that can go out and compete with anybody on any given day. And, I think, what sitting back and now saying we're 8-0, I don't think anyone can guarantee themselves that. So I think we do look back and say, wow, we're in a pretty good position right now, but we still have 8 more games to go, and that's what's really going to make the true test of where we are at the end of the year.
We were talking about demeanor of quarterbacks. Phillip Rivers, very demonstrative. Jay Cutler, just kind of blasé, sedate. What kind of personality do you prefer?
I think it's got to be natural to that person. I don't think any particular personality is more beneficial than the other. I don't think anyone is more successful than another. I think it has to just match that character and that personality of the individual. I think when people try to start being something that they're not, people try to start taking on the personality because they think that's what people want to see, or they don't think that's what people want to see. I think that's where you have trouble. I think as long as that personality of that player is true to who they are, it's consistent. They're the same guy every day in practice. They're the same guy in every meeting. They're the same guy in every game on Sunday. That's all people are looking for, especially at that position. You want consistency. You want to see who's that guy getting in the huddle every play, who's the leader of this team, and I want to know that I can count on that guy day in and day out to be who he is. And whatever that is, we can take it.
How would you describe Cam Newton's personality in one word?
Lively. I think he's a very vibrant, maybe vibrant would be a better word. He brings a lot of life to a lot of the situations, whether it's practice, walkthrough. He has kind of that sort of personality, and I think it comes through pretty clear on game day. He's full of energy, he's full of life. He loves to play the game, and I think that shines through pretty clear for everyone who watches it. I think sometimes people almost use that as like a negative against him, which I find somewhat amusing. I think the guy loves to play the game. He's a ferocious competitor. He wants to win. He'll do anything that his team needs to win. Sacrifice his body, run, take shots, extend plays, stand in there, and that's what you're looking for out of that position.
He also seems a little goofy.
We all joke he's really a kid trapped in a adult in a man body. He really is. But again, we talk about consistency. We talk about being the same guy. He is the same guy every day. He's the same guy in his preparation, the same guy in his demeanor. That's what works for him. That's what works for our team. That larger-than-life personality, that kid side of him, that's what makes him special. It makes him unique. And, people aren't maybe used to seeing that sort of personality or his style of play out of the traditional quarterback position. But I think that's what makes him fun. I think that's what makes our team click, makes him click. And we're not going to ask him to change, and he shouldn't have to change just to try to fit the mold of what everyone expects that position to be.
He's Greg Olsen of the Panthers, joining us Dan Patrick Show. Did you see him take down the Packers banner at the stadium?
I didn't, but I was in the locker room when he brought it in, and we all kind of just looked up and said, "Oh, hey." When he showed us what it said, we said, "I get it. I understand what he was doing." But at the same point, I said, "Oh man, especially with this being Cam, we're gonna hear about this." But hey, he wanted to protect our dirt. We talk about that a lot. I think we want to create a home field advantage. We want to create an advantage that when you come into our home field, that you're going to be in a hostile environment that's going to be very pro Panthers and anti whoever we're playing. And I think that's just kind of a symbol of what we're trying to build.
How much do Kuechly and Davis make you better going against those linebackers in practice? Or how much do you go against them? Because I imagine if you're successful in practice against them, you're not too concerned about anybody else in the NFL.
No, I've said from day one, when training camp is over and OTAs are over, my level at that position, for the most part, barring, a handful of teams that are pretty talented, my level of consistent play that I'm going to be going against has reached its max for the season. My OTAs in training camp, I got to work like a dog to get open and get some passes. Those guys are special. Those guys are unique players, and to have two of them side by side on every play is a unique and a special thing for a defense to have. And our offense going up against our defense, all year round and daily in practice has made our offense better. It's made our offense, learn how to compete, how to learn to continue to press when you're not having early success. Because that's what you need to do against our guys. Not every play is going to be a completion. Not every play is going to be a 10-yard run. You're going to hit your head on the door a few times, but you got to just keep going.
Aqib Talib got suspended for poking somebody in the eye. I'm still amazed at what goes on. That stuff usually would go on at the bottom of the pile, right? What's the worst thing that's happened to you?
Oh, yeah, we've had it. I can't say I've ever seen – I saw that happen live. We had gotten home. We were watching the end of the afternoon games at home following our game on Sunday, and I saw it happen. And I was like, oh, man, he couldn't have meant to do that. But then the more you watch it, it's hard to rationalize that he didn't mean to do it. I mean, I understand sometimes things happen, and, your hands – I get it. We've all been in those situations, but that was just pretty clear. If he didn't mean to do that, then that was just some bad luck. But
he meant to do that. He meant to do that.
There's no doubt he meant to do that.
But do guys grab? Like, does your wife say what happens in the pile? Do you ever explain to her that guys are grabbing each other?
I'll tell you. I won't tell her. That would just get her nervous and concerned for me more than she probably already is. But things do go on. You're fighting, you're clawing, you're scratching for every inch, for every yard, for, bottom of the pile on a fumble. You're trying to do everything you can to get that ball back. I mean, at the end of the day, you're really out there. You're fighting for everything you're worth. You're scratching or clawing. The margin for victory is so small. There's never a tell on what play is going to be the difference in the game. And, I've had my ankles twisted after tackles, and at the bottom of the pile, a guy tries, what happens a lot is a guy sees someone behind you, and I've had guys try to push you over the back of a pile to get you kind of caught up and flip backwards. I mean, it's a tough world out there. It's a game for tough guys that can handle those sort of things, but I think that falls into a little bit more the scope of the game. I don't know if purposely poking somebody like we're
what about grabbing you in the man region?
I have to say, I've heard stories about that happen. I fortunately have never had that happen to me, thankfully. I've heard stories, as we all have, of that happening at the bottom of piles. That would probably be the end. I think my retaliation to that would be pretty bad. Whether I'd probably be penalized or fined or something, because that would probably be the last straw. I can understand a lot of things in the flow of the game, but that would probably be taking it a little far.
Before I let you go, the last time you rapped.
Oh man, probably 2003 when I know what you're referring to. All went down. That was a past life for me. That's not something that we rehash much anymore until the 30 for 30 brought it back up again after a few years.
But did your teammates say, "Oh, dude, I didn't know you were in a rap group called the Seventh Floor Crew"?
It's funny. It shows that I'm getting old. Like, every year I have at least one or two teammates, like young guys, rookies, or whoever, come up to me and they're like, "Hey man, I just found out that was you. We used to pregame in college to that song, or we used to listen to that in the locker room." And I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know what to respond. I'm like, yeah, I don't know, I guess. And they're like, "I cannot believe that's you." And I'm like, sometimes me either.
Can I play that on the air one time?
No, please.
No?
Don't. Come on, Dan.
Wait, is there bad? Does G Reg have bad language there?
Yeah, not ideal. Not the language that now is a father of three. Not the ideal language now as a father of three.
There you go. You're mature now.
I've come a long way in the last 15 years.
What are you listening to now that you used to be in a rap group?
I'm a country guy.
Okay.
I'm a country guy, a Kings of Leon guy. That's more my cup of tea now.
Well, what do you have over there on the other side there, guys? What, Paulie?
Yeah, we just listened to about 10 seconds of lyrics. We can't play that on the air.
Yeah, we got to
Not because of the quality, because of the language.
Oh, because of the language. All right. See, he's mature now. He's a father of three.
I'm mature. I'm a father of three. I'm a husband. I'm a law-abiding citizen.
And you're also G-Reg in a previous life.
Way previous.
Hey, congrats on the success, and hope the kids are healthy there, and great to talk to you.
Thanks so much, Dan. Appreciate it.
All right, Greggles. G-Reg. Instead of Greg, G-Reg.